A mother and her ex-boyfriend have been today jailed for 10 years over the brutal death of her 24-day-old baby who suffered a fractured skull and brain hemorrhage. For causing the death of her son Stanley Davis. Stanley died in hospital on March 28, 2017 after suffering horrific injuries. He had also been admitted to Portsmouth's Queen Alexandra Hospital for 32 rib fractures and 9 more to his arms and legs on 3 other occasions. Davis and Davies, who both smoked cannabis and took cocaine, tried to cover up his injuries, which could have been caused by shaking him or throwing across the room. Sentencing the pair, the judge said that the baby was in pain for much of his short life and suffered a brutal attack in which he was violently shaken. The judge said Davis was more upset about herself than her son, who she treated as little more than a fashion accessory. dailymail.co.uk once 2018 12/7 12/7 6,476,471,393 Image M71,544,186,082,455. Height equals 359. Width equals 306. Alt equals he is pictured answering the door of their flat when officers attended on March 11 last year, just over 2 weeks before Stanley died in hospital on March 28, 2017. Class equals border in share copy link to paste in your message. A court heard today a bruise behind Stanley's right ear was misdiagnosed as a birthmark by a pediatrician when it was in fact the first sign of serious injury. When it began to fade just days after it was spotted, it was looked at again by midwives who realized it was in fact a bruise. Despite lengthy investigations, police have never been able to establish which of the pair inflicted the fatal injuries. But when they were convicted, Davis turned to her volatile former partner in the dock and told him, "You murdered my baby." Sentencing the pair at Winchester Crown Court, Jane Miller QC said Davis continued to smoke cannabis and had cocaine on at least 3 occasions. She said Davies also took cannabis and cocaine, sometimes clearly a lot. Davis sobbed during the hearing, and as she was taken down to the cells, she shouted out, "He's a murderer." The court heard that the former couple, who are not married, had a fractious relationship, with the police being called to the property on March 11 by neighbors who reported shouting coming from the one-bedroom flat they shared in Gosport. Both defendants were tested positive for taking cocaine and cannabis after they were arrested following Stanley's hospitalization. Davies told his and his ex-partner's trial that Stanley was looked after by him, his mother and her family, and added that baby from day 2 was passed around like a parcel. JPG height equals 360. Width equals 634. Alt equals class equals border img share copy link to paste in your message. Prosecutors added that on March 15, Davies had taken a photo of a newspaper article about a mother who had taken her dead baby onto a bus to avoid detection over the child's death from a head injury. The court also heard how she had posted a video on Facebook on March 20th, the day before Stanley was taken to hospital, of him having a fit, along with the comment, "My baby is 16 days, should he be doing this already?" Stanley died a week later. Share this article. Share giving evidence. Davis told the court that when her son was born she was over the moon, adding, "I had my whole world in my hands." After Stanley's death, a crowdfunding page was set up to raise money for his funeral, which accumulated £2,300 in total. His mother had written on the page that her son had been her miracle baby after being told she would not be able to have children when she was younger. dailymail.co.uk 1 2018 12 7 13 7,134,752 6,471,393 Image a 92 1,544,189,326,258. Height equals 328. Width equals 586. Alt equals class equals Reporter image. Share copy link to paste in your message. But Davies, who was not the baby's father, claimed he had been arguing with a friend over some borrowed money. Davis told officers the same thing, explaining he had mental health problems, was not allowed to work, and just kicked off like that. She also said he had been smoking cannabis and drinking alcohol, which both defendants tested positive for after Stanley died. But both defendants insisted there had just been an argument with one of Davies' friends over some borrowed money. Davies answered the door and Davis was then seen holding a tiny baby Stanley in her arms. JPG height equals 330. Width equals 586. Alt equals class equals Reporter img. Share copy link to paste in your message. She told the police officer, who was recording the exchange on his body camera, that her boyfriend suffers with mental health problems. Davies meanwhile storms out of the flat and says, "I don't want police at my door," and complains they don't have a warrant. She says he's normal but he just kicks off like that. It gets to him not being allowed to work. The officer asks her, "We can see that he's been taking cannabis or something like that this evening." Davis replies, "He does smoke cannabis, yeah. He's been drinking, he's been out with his mates." She tells them, "I've got a baby now as well," to which the officer replies, "I know, congratulations. Because you were heavily pregnant last time I met you," confirming he had visited the couple before. Davies told jurors his girlfriend had been jealous she was not the center of attention after her son's birth. Davis wept as prosecutor James Newton Price QC told the court there was a disregard for the welfare of her son and a series of escalating injuries. He said, "This is a high culpability case. It features multiple incidents of injuries, using force and disregard for the welfare of the victim. The suffering was prolonged, and there was escalating injuries, with bones broken and re-broken. The Crown would say they were warned, very clearly warned about the risk of harm to Stanley by the police and a social worker." Dailymail.co.uk once 2018 11/28 19 5,324,176 6,437,953. The infant died a week after he was admitted to Queen Alexandra of 33 1,543,434,123,607. JPG height equals 315 width equals 634 alt equals class equals book order img share copy link to paste in your message. Katie Thorne QC, defending Davis, said that she suffered from depression and added, Miss Davis's case has always been that she didn't cause the injuries. Miss Davis did accept her strong feelings of guilt in failing to protect Stanley.